Good afternoon, everybody. Today is episode 38 of Knick-Knack Knits. I am Nikki. Where you can find me will also be linked down below, but on Ravelry, I'm Nikki with 2 C's, 52879. On Instagram, I'm Knick-Knack Knits, and my shop is knickknacknitsco.myshopify.com.
And I am Heather. My links will be down below as well. You could find me on Instagram as Ebony Mama and on Ravelry as E&M Mama.
Yep. So I will link both of us there. Also, we have a Ravelry podcast group, which is Knick-Knack Knits also.
Mm-hmm.
So everything we're going to talk about for our cows will be better detailed over there.
Mm-hmm.
In order to win those, you have to be a member of the group on Ravelry, so go ahead and take a look over there. We also have hashtags for everything, so if you're not a Ravelry user, you still can win by entering it over on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put those up as we talk about them on the camera, on the screen.
Yeah, and just real quick about entering on Instagram. If you can, and if you're willing to, I would say to tag one of us in your picture. You don't have to tag both of us unless you want to, but tag at least one of us, because sometimes I've heard that if we're not following you or if we're not following each other on Instagram, then it doesn't show up for us, especially if your account is private.
Especially with the private accounts.
Yeah. I would just suggest to tag one of us in your post if you do enter on Ravelry, and we completely we'll take Ravelry Instagram. We'll take Instagram entries just as if they were posted on Ravelry. So.
And we always do say knitting because we and Heather primarily are knitters.
Mm-hmm.
But if the cow, even the sock, you sock it to me. That can be crocheted socks or knitted socks, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. We do primarily say knitting, but anything that would fit under the cowl is allowed.
Yep. So, moving right into admin, I guess, we will tell you the winners from the Sock It To Me for February. It's a pattern winner, and it was post number 12 on Ravelry. So what I did was I wrote all the posts down on Ravelry and then the few that were on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I just had random number pull as the number I wrote. And the pattern winner was Arbor Child from Ravelry. So if you can send me a message and what pattern you'd like for $7 or under, we will get that out to you.
Congratulations.
So I did put up the new March one. And of course, the Sock It To Me, I don't look at this all the time. For Instagram will be, I forgot to write it down. Oh, there it is. Sock It To Me NNK, and then it'll be March 21.
Mm-hmm. So hashtag Sock It To Me NNK March 21.
Yep.
And it'll be on the bottom of the screen.
Correct. And then we have 2 others that are going, that their quarter ends the end of this month, so we will pull winners the first podcast of April.
Mm-hmm.
My eyeballs twitching. The first one is our featured designer, which
mm-hmm.
is Knitting Expat, who has lots of patterns out there for double dipping right now.
Right.
You could enter her as the designer of the year in the sock.
Mm-hmm.
You could enter her as the knitting designer, and our other one, which is our sweater.
Mm-hmm. So this year we're doing a year-long sweater along. We're drawing the prizes every quarter. So this quarter that we're currently in will end the end of March. And it's pretty straightforward. Just knit a sweater. It could be any weight of yarn, any size. Just knit a sweater. It could be a pullover, cardigan, hoodie.
A child. Teen, adult.
Yeah.
No, we're not picky.
And like Nikki said, there is a lot of options for double dipping. So, and especially in our cows this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options for double dipping and yeah, so this quarter ends the end of March. So we will draw prizes for the first quarter in the first episode of April.
Correct. So now we will get into some knitting content. And I know me and Heather talked already, so I know Heather doesn't have a finished whip yet this month. Not this month. I keep thinking it's February for some reason. And I'm not exactly sure why.
It's still been a month. That statement is still true. I don't have
a finished object for a month. It was like, oh, we're at the last one of the month, but no, we're not. We're in the first one of the new month.
Yeah, it's March now.
But I have one crochet, which is, of course, a dishcloth. And, yeah, I've quite slowed down on those.
You lost your dishcloth mojo?
I think so because, unfortunately, with everything in the world going on, I sent 2 packages to the Comforting Crafts. And the big bag full of them never made it to her.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I feel horrible that 100 of them got lost in the mail somewhere.
Yeah.
And so, like, it kind of, like, deflated me for a little while.
Yeah, because you were on.
I mean, I'll get it back, but I mean, it's just all that work gone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm holding out hope and prayers that it'll someday find its way there.
Yeah, or at least back to you.
Right. So, my other whip, I will put up, or my other finished object, I'll put up a picture. It was my second pair of Get Shorty socks. Mm-hmm. And I gifted those last weekend to my great aunt, who's already wearing them. So, I finished them on the last day that we podcasted last time. Mm-hmm. And then the other pair of socks that I was working on that last day, I finished. Bellatrix socks from Night Owl Fibers. And the heels and cuffs are Arkansas Yarn Co. in Gray Matters. And this is the Worm and Snuggle from Knitting Expat. So I just did the pattern here and then plain on the rest of the foot. And knitting left for the sock blockers. And I do have one other. I forgot almost. This is another Chubby Buttons hat from the Cozy Up Girls. And this colorway is Rainbow Bright, Plump, Yummy Plump from Arkansas Yarn Co.
That is definitely bright.
It is. And I think I made it like when it was raining out because I was just like over the cloudiness that day. And it only took me a few hours to crank out. So we'll come right back with our whips. Okay, everybody, we are back with whips after Mom Heather here had to tell me everything I was doing wrong the first time. Anyways, everything you're going to see from me today is basically brand new except for one whip. So, on the spirit, this is one of my new ones. It's the Temperance Shawl by Malabrigo, and if you don't know, Malabrigo is doing a cal that starts April 1st. I am doing a shop sample for somebody. So, for Arkansas Yarn Co., in the Malabrigo colorways that they brought out just for brick and mortar stores, so you can't order this online unless you have a shop that you can order from. So, she is carrying Malabrigo Sock Glory at Arkansas Yarn Co., so you can get the colorways there. Mm-hmm. So, this is the beginning. And it just keeps going. I am now in the last section. There's 11 sections to this shawl, but the 11th one is like over 100 rows.
Oh, wow.
So, it's a free pattern over on Ravelry. Mm-hmm. So I'm not giving away any secrets. But the last 100 rows is nothing but a 2-row repeat.
Mm-hmm. So, can you pan it slower one more time?
Yep, I can.
Do you know the colorway names?
I do. When I look into my bag here, I just picked it up off the floor. I know, like, the green color is Jasmine. So, this section here with all the lacy holes. Then this one here, the variegated yarn, is the Miss. And then there's a fairly subtle, I don't even know if you guys can see it on screen, but that brown that's popping up there, that is called, sorry for the dog, is Gingy. So I'm finding it very fun before I got to section 11. And I'm like, oh, it's just the same 2 rows. But I will work through it.
And when did you cast that on? When did you cast that on? Because I haven't even seen it.
Exactly 12 days ago.
So, like March 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we haven't really been.
So these are the 3 colorways. Because I know they're very close together. Oh. Can you see it there? I don't.
Yeah, I can see.
So they're, I don't know. I like the colorways a lot by themselves. The subtle change is nice, but I'm more of an in-your-face type of person when it comes to color changes. So you'll see in acquisitions what mine will be made out of.
How do I ask this question? Did Malabrigo set the kit, or did Lori set the kit?
No. Malabrigo set the kit.
Because that's very not Lori's colorways. They're like color palette, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like, that's not her cup of tea. My turn?
It is your turn.
So, my first whip
that
I'm going to show. What happened?
Cooper's right here under the screen.
Oh. Is my Ethan blanket. Well, it's not. That's what we're calling it. But it's this scrappy. What's it called?
Happy Scrappy Blankie.
Happy Scrappy Blankie. So this is my progress. And last time I showed it, I was here at this light bulb.
It's so pretty. Yours is so much bigger than mine already.
It is? I feel like it's...
Yeah, yours is a lot bigger than mine.
So, if I hold it, this is a great angle. If I hold it this way.
You have an octopus, it would be nice to have all the angles.
Yeah, I know. I should lay it out on my cords are too small.
Right.
I like it that way because it doesn't feel like I'm taking forever to get to the end of the row. But it's beyond the extension of my cord. But I could lay it out on my bed and take a picture of it, and you can insert it to show how big it is.
Yeah.
It's
so pretty though, Heather, with all the scraps.
And this is all I have left of my current ball.
Oh, wow.
So I probably won't even make it to the end of the row.
Is that the secondary yarn that you're using, not scrappy, or is that the scrap?
No, that's my scrap. My like kind of hold with yarn is Wool Like from Michaels Loops and Thread. Nice. In the charcoal colorway.
Okay.
And I still have all this that I could add.
Well, you'll have plenty more scraps coming soon.
I will.
All the other projects?
Oh,
working on, yeah.
Actually finish that. Finishing has to get you scraps. Saying.
Minor detail.
So yeah, all of that is my leftovers, what I have left from my swap from Melissa.
Okay.
So I still have a lot.
Yeah.
I keep saying that, but Kim keeps reminding me that as my rows get bigger, it uses less yarn. I was like, thank you, but I don't need to know that. Thanks for the tip.
She's so helpful. So helpful.
She thinks she's helpful. No, she is. I love you, Kim.
Having allergies right now. So
yeah, they're not fun.
No. My next whip I started last night. Around the table is doing a new Cal, which is the go-to cardigan from Cheap Cheese, and I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. But it's out of, they made it with Cheap Cheese Chunky Monkey, and I picked passion fruit for my grandmother's Mother's Day gift. So this will be her cardigan. I'm making it a lot shorter because this cardigan pretty much goes to mid-calf. So past your knees. And being an 86-year-old lady and short, it'd be like your ankles, and then walking, you could trip over it. So I didn't want that. So this is what I got done so far, and it's done in pieces. And I love the stitch definition that this yarn is giving.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, but it's on size 10s. It's Aran weight yarn, so it is going super fast. So.
Yeah. So is that the back panel?
It is. This is the back panel, and this is a cardigan that's not meant to be closed. So the left and the right are, significantly smaller. So I have to decide if I'm going to change that for Grandma and make it so it does close or overlap at least for her, because there's no buttons or anything like that on the pattern.
Maybe not like completely,
right?
But more than it does in the pattern.
Right. Especially because this is something I want her to be able to have just to keep warm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
It's always cold. I was going to ask a question, but I don't remember. Oh, so where are you going to, have you talked to her and decided how?
I haven't talked to her. So this is a gift from me and my mom.
Oh.
And so me and my mom decided that it would probably be, most of her ones that she really likes that are wearing low, for lack of better terms, come right to, mid-butt. So what I think I'm going to do is, because her and my mom are about the same height, I'm just going to tell Grandma that I'm making it for my mom and have her stand up so that I can keep measuring along her back. So.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, another thing I was thinking the other day when we were after we were talking was to, get a sweater or a shirt that fits her well, and you can just measure that, but
I have to pull her out of it.
Yeah, that's true. Getting her to not be wearing it is...
Because her favorite things to wear, what you're saying is great, but she likes those, back in the 80s, there's a whole bunch of craft fairs where people would take the sweatshirts and just literally cut them down the middle, and then put fabric on either edge of it, so that they just pull it on like a cardigan, and that's the only thing they changed, was just alter that.
Yeah.
And now they're wearing so thin that they're not good for, warmth, and they look kind of crappy when you're out places.
Yeah.
But, she won't part with them until... every time we buy something new, like a cardigan that we think she might like, she'll wear it once or twice, and she's like, no, I like this one better. So I'm hoping that this time I found something that I can exchange it out with. Especially seeing it's the purple. She picked out the purple.
Oh, okay.
So I took the colors down to her, and I was like, which colors do you like? She's like, well, purple. So I blew up the purple size of colors. And then she picked the purple she wanted. He's trying to open the door and escape out of the room. The dog.
Yeah. Okay. For my next whip, it is my February socks. Yes, it is my February socks. This is the bundled up pattern from Knitting Expat. In the Bellatrix Lestrange colorway from Night Owl Fibers. Yes, I'm still on my first sock. I am about to do my toe decreases.
I like that pattern. It's pretty.
I like it. I don't know. I was talking to Kim about it the other day. I like it. It's not that I don't like it, and it's an easy repeat. I highly recommend this pattern. But if you can see, and it's nothing to do with Knitting Expat or Rachel. Can you see here how in the
It was more defined.
yeah, like in the purple to gray, it's more defined, and in the light gray to dark gray, and then as you get down, it doesn't really do that. So I mean, I love it, and everybody says that it's still
It
hot.
still does when you hold it back.
It still does, yeah. But I don't know. So I might do something like a slip stitch, like it's just a normal slip stitch pattern, and see how that works out.
Gotcha.
See if I like that, because I do like the way that slip goes into the previous color, you know.
Right.
But and then yeah. So bundled up socks, Knitting Expat, Bellatrix Lestrange, Night Owl Fibers. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And it's on size 1.
My March socks, I have a few pairs, but my first one, this is Night Owl Fibers Dumbledore with just a scrap that I don't know. So this is the Rainbow Connection socks by Kay Littman, Crazy Sock Lady, and I did a cut and heel. These went super duper fast for me because I was so excited to keep, like, because every 2 rows you're switching between the yarns. So I did the cuff on March 1st for all my socks because I have 3 pairs going, but I only did them for the first 2
pairs, not socks, pairs.
So I did all the cuffs for the first 2 because the other one we weren't casting on. I was waiting for Knitting Expat's newest sock collection to come out to cast on the next one. And then this sock I took with me, and I did the whole sock itself in a day.
The whole sock in a day?
Yeah. Besides, minus the cuff.
And the heel, because you did a cut and heel.
I did the heel right away, too.
Oh. So. You know what?
I was just, knitting away the stress. How about that? That's what we're going to go with on that one.
Where were you?
Home.
Oh, I thought you said you took it.
I took the tow with me that night to my cousin's house with the babies.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm just going to keep on my sock thing. So my second sock is on. And this is all I have. And I've gone back to using my Circs. And I'm using a one because I knit looser on these. And then my other pair that I casted out on the first was the Coffee Talk socks by Tracy Miller. So there, I'll blow out the sun. The cuff here is Ice Ice Baby, and then I have no idea what this is, but it's from Leadyman, and it was their sock set last year that I purchased for 1 month. So I'm like 6 rows from being able to start the toe.
6 rows from being able to start the toe?
Mm-hmm.
I need to step up my sock game.
No, you don't need to step up your sock game. I need to stop like knitting like a little fiend when things are amiss in my world. And then I cast it on my socks that came out for Knitting Expat. And I don't know if you can see the pattern real well on screen. I will take a picture, but I love them.
Hold it right there. Don't move.
This was a Universal Wisdom color. Naked sock, that's what it's called. I bought this 10 years ago when I first started knitting and I wanted to knit socks. And it's just sat in my stash ever since. And the color is 103. Sweetly, it says. So, I just got to where I will put the heel in at this marker. And then this is just so that I know where I was. So I'm just on the foot of the sock now. Because the person who I conned into making these with me.
Not me.
I had to strike a deal. She said 5 inches before I could do a heel. And I came back with 4, so then we compromised to 4.5. So 4.5. I know I could start my foot.
Yeah. Are you doing the patterning on the foot? On the
top of the foot, yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Crazy pants. Okay. My next whip is my March socks. I am doing these 2 at a time on size 1 Zings. This is the Night Owl Fibers Dumbledore colorway. Yeah, there's not much to say about that. I got a little stressed out. Like March 1st-ish. When it was March and I still hadn't finished my first February sock, and I decided that I was going to do them 2 at a time to try and get them done faster. But
they look really good.
Thank you. I don't know if it's really helping them go fast. My knitting time has not been up to its normal standards lately. I'm trying to find a house to move to. And that's not...
Life is definitely throwing both of us a lot of curveballs right now.
Yeah, and where Nicci tends to knit all the things when she's super stressed, I tend to binge watch TV and not knit, and play my Nintendo Switch and not knit, and find every other thing that I can do in my house besides knitting. So...
we all deal with stress differently, and none of us ever know what anybody else is going through. So if I can say anything, be nice to everybody right now.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're dealing with.
Yeah. So I will hopefully get these done, and yeah, that's it.
So I have one last thing that I just took up back Thursday. I took a day off of everything. I took my day off of watching my boys. I took the day for myself. And now I lost something, but it's okay. I caught up on the crochet squares. And I promise I have all of them done, but one fell somewhere. It's another white one. So I will take pictures and insert them. All the yarn that I'm using is Sheep G's Color Crafter. Mm-hmm. And it's on a size 7 crochet hook, which I'm not good with this part. 4.5 millimeter.
Is a G.
It's smaller than a G.
Oh.
Every one of them are different, so I know the numbers are. That's why I said the 4.5. Because my G, I think, is a 5 or a 4. I can't remember. It's in between the two. This is another square, and again, I know with the sun behind me, but I'm glad it's out.
No, you can see that really well.
And I don't have the names of each of these squares memorized, but it is from the VVC Cal 2000, I want to say it's 18, maybe 16. She's got 3 of them. And we're doing this with Around the Table with Kim Goody. She is the crochet teacher on this.
Mm-hmm.
So Thursday nights we designate for squares, and I had fallen quite behind.
I am quite behind right now. I need to catch up.
So I'm just waiting for next week now. So there's my last one. And we will take a brief pause and come right back to you.
Okay, and now we're back with acquisitions, and it is the Nicci show, because I have none. Have fun.
And it's a very short Nicci show. I just have the 3 skeins that I plan on doing my temperance shawl with. All Malibu to go sock. So this one here is orchid. There. Then I have prayed. Oh, trying to. And teal feather, which I absolutely love this color.
Me too.
And I really could see a sweater out of that in my future.
Me too.
So, yeah, I want a sweater quantity of that, I think. But that's all I have.
Me too.
Not that I didn't purchase maybe 1 or 2 other things, but they're not here yet.
Yeah. Mr. Postman is slow. I didn't purchase anything yet, but I am going to.
I did a pre-order for 1 skein, and then I did our monthly one.
I haven't done the monthly one yet. I need to do that today. And then I want to purchase, I can never remember this yarn dyer's name.
Uh-oh.
The shop carries it. It's the one that is the striping that's no longer going to be striping.
Ridiculous.
Yes. So Kim told me the other day that they still had some in stock. So I'm going to get some while I can. Because basically all I'm buying for is socks. And it was
self-striping at that.
Huh?
And lots of self-striping at that.
Yeah, all I'm buying for is self-striping. But I was watching, have you seen the new podcast that Kay's doing with her friend Carrie?
I have not. I haven't watched any podcasts in a couple weeks now, unfortunately.
So I highly recommend it. She's still doing her normal Crazy Sock Lady podcast, but she's doing one with her friend Carrie, and it's called One More Row.
Oh,
and they have like an Instagram account and everything for it. But they were talking on the podcast about like when you're going to prepare like to start a new cast on, then they tend to purchase new yarn for that item. And because they're like, I don't want to go through my stash because like my stash is what I've purchased for socks. Like I always look at those, 1 skeins, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm just gonna get 1 because I can make socks. And so she was saying like, yeah, even when she was picking yarn for her the muscle bird hats she was making, she's like, I don't want to use that because it's socks. Like I bought it to make socks with, and it's like, yeah, like I don't. Everything I buy is for socks. If I'm gonna do a new project, I'm going to purchase yarn for that.
Gotcha.
I was like, I am exactly the same way, but my sock yarn is all self-striping, so that would not even work if I tried. Can you imagine a shawl with self-striping yarn?
I've never seen it done, but I mean, not to say that it couldn't be.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it could be done, but like, I feel like the stripes would be
Yeah, I mean,
all over the place.
Right. Like, I got the self-striping book, as you guys saw a couple podcasts ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised to see a couple sweaters in there, But I bought the book for the one sweater with the self-striping just across the yoke here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a boat neck. The bright access tee. So that's what I was thinking of, like, when you were saying self-striping. I'm like, say about that sweater.
Yeah.
Because Arkansas Yarn Co. is about to do a cal for it. And so she's been showing lots of different color combinations.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, I've never, I don't know if you have, Heather, but I've never bought 2 self-striping skeins of the same.
Mm-mm.
So, like, that's all I need for me. And I'm like, I'm seriously debating it. 'Cause I really
But
like that sweater.
does Lori dye self-striping?
No, but she carries self-striping. She
Yeah.
carries Turtle Pearl and another new one.
Okay.
One's the Nash, I think. So.
I knew she carried Turtle Pearl. I didn't know she had anything else.
Yep.
Yeah,
But,
that
I mean,
might
you
be
can
something
pair
to
her
start.
yarn with the self-striping.
Yeah.
So, I'm very tempted. But
That
that'd
might
be
be.
another new cast on for the Nicci for the month of March.
When is she doing that, Cal?
The 20th of March through the 20th of May. So it's a
Huh.
great, I mean, if you cast it on with her, you could double dip with us at least.
Yeah,
It's a sweater. And I think Cozy Up still has their striping cal going on.
I think so.
So, I
I
mean,
don't
that
think
would
it's.
be 3 places just to enter it.
Yeah.
So, now we're just rambling.
Yeah, we are. We've fallen down a rabbit hole.
We have. So, that is all I have for future knits and acquisitions.
I don't think I have anything for future knits.
I'm trying to be like you and behave, but like I only work 2 weeks for me to work on the same thing each day of the week. And how quickly I fell off that wagon.
Yeah, I mean, it helps to not have a lot of knitting time in general because then you don't want. I mean, I want to cast stuff on.
Right.
I want to cast on I guess that's my future knits. I'm gonna cast on a Musselburgh hat for Hector.
Okay.
I have some fingering weight that's like black and it has like orange and I think it's like orange and green flecks in it. Or it's not really flecks, but it's like blurbs of color.
Color.
That I'm gonna make him a Musselburgh hat with, and then I don't think I'm gonna cast anything else. I mean, I'm gonna try and work on my sweater and finish that.
Me too.
And so I can start my new sweater in April. But I mean, let's be real. Even if I don't finish, or did I say February or April? I meant to say April. Let's
April.
be real. Even if I don't finish my sweater in March, I'm gonna cast my new one on in April. Like, that's just gonna happen. And it's gonna be I think I'm gonna do the Love Note.
Okay. And my April one is going to be my All the Lights by by Hohi. Because I got that yarn for that as a Christmas present this year for my husband. So.
Yeah, that'll be pretty. I like that.
Yeah.
But I'm doing a cardigan now, so next is gonna be a pullover.
And I'm doing a pullover now, so it's going to be a cardigan. We're just going to keep, changing it up.
Yeah.
So I guess we should let them go.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Everybody enjoy your Saturday.
Enjoy your Saturday. Have a good 2 weeks.
And hopefully we will be back in those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, happy knitting.
Happy knitting.